Hey, welcome back to The Lonely Dragon. This is our whiskey tasting segment, a fan favorite and a favorite of mine. Today on the show, we've got Shaun Stewart.
Hi there.
And Dayleigh Nelson. Alright guys, so today we are going to be tasting 40 Creek whiskey. And it's premium barrel select whiskey. And again, for all the viewers watching, I am not an expert. Rob's not an expert. But Shaun, you are a whiskey drinker.
Thank you for saying whiskey drinker and not expert, because that would be completely untrue. But whiskey drinker is definitely accurate, and I enjoy the 40 Creek. I always keep a bottle of 40 Creek at home because I like having a nice rye whiskey around to make some Manhattans
Awesome.
sometimes, and occasionally just to drink straight.
Now, it's a rye whiskey.
Yes.
What does that mean exactly?
That means it comes from Canada. And different
It says Canadian whiskey on the tag.
different kinds of whiskey have very specific things about them that make them what they are. So Scotch whiskey, Irish whiskey, bourbon, and then rye whiskey, which has the most kind of general definition of all of them, which is that it has some rye in it. It doesn't have to have a certain amount. It just has to have rye in it.
Contain rye in small
Processed in a
quantities.
factory that may have processed rye.
Yeah.
Excellent. There's rye
And
content
No
somewhere.
peanut butter thing in chocolate.
And then, by definition, it must have the flavor and qualities that describe Canadian whiskey. So, for it to be Canadian whiskey, it has to be like Canadian whiskey, which is defined by being like Canadian whiskey. So,
Excellent. Okay.
good luck if
Well,
you're
let's-
getting into the Canadian whiskey business.
Let's pop this open and...
How do you drink your rye whiskey?
Well, if I'm just drinking whiskey, I drink it neat.
Nice.
I'm going to put some ice in mine.
There we go.
Now, he was a vintner first, was he not?
Yes, yeah, the guy who makes this made wine before he made whiskey, and at some point.
Can you tell us anything more about 40 Creek?
It's from Toronto. It's oh wait, actually that might not be true. It's from Ontario. That much I can tell you for sure.
Somewhere in the Canadian
The bottle
East.
says Toronto, and it's copper pot still.
Oh, there you go.
So rather than column still, which is just the way they distill it, and the copper pot is kind of the classic. It's like the high grade. It's not really high grade.
So he didn't age
awesome.
this in any of his previous winemaking barrels or anything.
I believe it's all sherry
Really?
casked. Yeah.
All right, so we'll start with the smelling. Dayleigh, please lead us in
See
this
if we
smell.
can find the sherry
Yes,
bouquet
let's
in
do
there.
this.
You can address...
It smells like rye whiskey. Yeah.
Excellent. Rob?
I'm reminded of isopropyl alcohol when I have to clean things.
All right.
Why do you put yourself through this?
It smells creaky. If that's a way to describe it, it
I only
smells
got
like a
30
creek.
creeks in it personally. I don't know where the other 10 are supposedly coming from.
It smells like a thing I have often before I go to bed, which is
It
this.
smells like bedtime. All right, so we'll start sampling.
Why don't we get a...
Guests
All
out
right.
of Dan Aykroyd's skull, maybe? Well,
That was actually from the Crystal Skull New Year's vodka set.
there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, and now it's
So where's your vodka
Containing
tasting
whiskey.
show? You know? It's not a bad one.
What does it taste like?
Yes.
What do you taste in there?
tell us. Now for those,
It is mild. Like it did say it's a smoother taste. I kind of noticed that. It's not like there's no instant burn or like something very peat smoked. It's not like rocking. You're like, okay, ooh, like I can taste every time it's been distilled. It kind of just slides in there, and then the nice little smooth aftertaste kicks in.
is that what that is? That like every time it's been distilled,
It's it's a variation too. And personally, like I don't know, I'm a glutton for punishment. I like the rougher stuff on my palate. Like I like the really peaty stuff, the really smoked stuff.
fair enough.
My roommate's the opposite, so we always battle. It's like, let's buy this one.
Rob, what can you tell us?
It's like that time I was biting my nails after cleaning something with isopropyl alcohol, actually. Yeah, no, it's definitely better than Old Number 7. I'll give it that. And actually, now that it's soaked through my tongue,
It is a cowboy drink.
There's
though,
something-
So
there's
he's already
something
had
to
it
it,
too
yeah.
long.
Yep.
Oh,
There.
It's a cowboy drink. So am I supposed to shoot it or like just sip it or?
If
what's the
you
deal
want
with
to
it?
Slow
not
it
get
down.
shot when you're in the saloon, generally like they just
It's a
fire their
whiskey,
whiskeys
okay, you
back.
just
You'll
fire
get
it
that
in
with
there,
bourbon
alright.
too.
I'll see if I can do that with this. It is way smoother than what we had before. Oh man, that makes a difference, and I feel like a cowboy. I really do.
Wow, that's
Yeah. Well, hey,
He even drinks it like a professional. Look at that.
I know
The drink and lean. He's like, let me
that
just.
man knows what he's doing.
It is actually, yeah, it is very smooth. I admit that when I drink this at home, I sip, but yeah, getting a full mouthful in, that's actually really nice.
You can afford to sip with no one judging you when you're not on camera. You can
Exactly. yeah,
appreciate. It's like I buy this for the taste.
yeah. Just
You know what my favorite part of it is? Is
Sitting
that warm
back.
feeling you get in your belly. You know? Oh god, actually it kind of burns.
That's because you skipped dinner.
Yeah.
I do have first aid. Should that be a bad burning you're getting? I don't know.
It's good. It's all right. You know what? Like I said, I'm not a whiskey drinker.
it is.
And this-
It's rare among rye whiskeys. Like rye isn't.
I'm good.
You can't really get, well, to my knowledge, I don't know. I've never had a rye that's really
Yeah.
tasty, like a nice Scotch or a nice bourbon whiskey even.
Now,
There's a reason it's rye and ginger and rye and Coke. It's 'cause,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You don't
is
need to
wild
drink rye
turkey is wild turkey rye?
Wild turkey's bourbon.
Bourbon. All right.
Totally not.
Totally off
Yeah,
topic.
so
All right.
that's what
Is
we're
there
not
any
the
chance
It's
experts
got
on
a bunch
this.
of corn.
Is there any things associated with rye? Like is it associated with a classier drinker or homeless people?
Actual rye. Being,
It's an association with homeless people.
oh, the association. It's it's very
Not
Canadian.
Listerine.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm not a big rye guy. It's not my wheelhouse. I live with someone who is named after rye, like rye and. It's like, there's a genesis there.
You live with a guy named Ginger?
Yeah, exactly. That's a great answer. But yeah, so it's I leave the expertise on rye to him, and they both are. I mean, both the guys I know are big rye drinkers. They are from Ontario, so maybe there's more of a
All right.
rye savvy
Alright.
industry there. I suppose.
This does have a nice kind of caramel aftertaste.
Yeah.
I think it might be the sherry barrels.
Well, I won't read you guys what the ranking on this is, but if you have to give it a ranking, and then we move on from this, what's your ranking here? From 1 to 10, what do you give it?
Out of 10, I'll give it a 6.5. Just because it's something that I'll enjoy it when I'm drinking with someone, but
Alright.
it's not something I would actively seek out. But it's definitely on the rye scale. I'll give it an 8, but on my overall, were we in the whiskey world talk, I'd give it a 6.
Okay, Rob?
I would give it. Well, if I would give Old Number 7 a 7, I would give this an 8.5.
All right.
Yeah, it was definitely better.
All right. Shaun?
I'd land at an 8. Yeah, but like Dayleigh, it's that's on a rye scale.
There's a scale
It's
per.
All right.
it's I mean actually well I mean I don't know I haven't tasted better rye or rye that I enjoy more than this, but I haven't really gone looking for really tasty ryes.
Well, after the segment, like, we'll say what we want to rate it. We're still going to both go drink the bottle and tally it together.
Yeah, oh sure, yeah.
That tells you something.
That goes without saying.
It's drinkable.
Excellent. Yeah, you know what? I'm not a whiskey drinker, but I'm gonna give it a 7. Yeah, on my scale of experience with whiskey, because it actually went down pretty smoothly. It didn't go down as harshly as the other one we tested, number 7.
You could see yourself like ordering one of this.
I
maybe,
could
if it was on
probably, I could
special?
probably go and order this at the bar and sip it. I would definitely not shoot it again. So yeah, but the official ranking is 8.5. I don't know what that means. It says rank. It's 40 Creek Barrel Select score of 8.5.
So the Price is Right
versus,
winner is
here we
Rob.
go. Versus
Yes, I actually read the label because I bought it.
No, there you go.
All right, well, that is our segment on 40 Creek Whiskey. And I believe we're going to be trying a different one now.
Yeah, in the next episode,
Yeah.
Till then,
next
happy
episode,
drinking,
yeah.
I guess.
join us for the next
Happy
whiskey
drinking.
tasting.
Thank you so much for being here. Go out, get yourself a bottle of that. Have a sip, feel
I'm
like a
gonna finish
cowboy.
off the bottle. Let's do this. Who's with
All
me?
right.
We'll see you next time. Thanks so much,
Long
guys.
day. I got some chaser somewhere.
Cheers.
Cheers.